Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. I hope you're well. A clip of the ex-Prime Minister of Israel is going around the internet where he is advising the Prime Minister of the UK to delay or avoid meeting Netanyahu, as Netanyahu and his cabinet of ministers have committed human rights violations against Palestinian civilians. Although the clip is from March, it is relevant to the crisis in Palestine right now.
Benjamin Netanyahu leads a government whose members support the pogroms which was committed against the Palestinian township. The ministers in the cabinet of Netanyahu support the suppression of Palestinians and the denial of fundamental human rights to these people. The Minister of National Security in this government is a person who was convicted in the Israeli court for terrorism against Palestinians. This is a government which is a shame to the basic values of the people of Israel and the Jewish people. I expressly call upon the Prime Minister of Great Britain to cancel the visit of the Israeli Prime Minister next week in London and to avoid meeting him, because it will be a shame for the basic principles of Great Britain to be associated with what Netanyahu represents today.
The former Israeli Prime Minister said, "We knew all the details. We saw everything. We saw all the preparations. Nothing was hidden from our eyes and the eyes of the very sophisticated cyber system that we developed. We were just arrogant to believe that they can do it." The Israeli-Palestinian war has now entered its 10th day, and the situation in Gaza is not showing any improvement. More than 6,000 airstrikes have been carried out within this short span of time on the innocent people of Gaza, with no fault of their own except for one, which is to be born in the so-called open-air prison. Without food, electricity, and water, the hospitals are unable to operate properly. Ambulances are unable to reach the stranded victims, as the roads are either filled with debris or have broken because of the impact of the airstrikes. And ice cream trucks are used as mortuaries because there are no spaces left in hospital morgues. In these devastating and horrible situations, politicians, celebrities, and even some brainwashed people are the least bothered. Most of the celebs that even the Muslim Ummah follow and make idols of are silent, while they are very vocal about the Ukraine or Black Lives Matter movement. Politicians and the media are labeling the atrocities committed against innocent people as a right to defend the Israeli government. The Israeli ambassador to the UK has denied altogether that there is any such thing as a humanitarian crisis in Gaza.
What's the view on the humanitarian crisis in Gaza this morning?
There is no humanitarian crisis because
there isn't.
There is no.
Still, there are some people who were once part of the Israeli government itself who were exposing the hidden intentions and human rights atrocities of the leader of the government for the whole world to see. Protests are taking place all over the world, and even the Jewish community is standing in support of the cause of the Palestinians. Thousands of people are on the streets just because their conscience is unable to approve of the atrocities and injustice being done to innocent Palestinians, in which children are facing the worst consequences. Huge crowds of people from all across the globe are trying to make the world leaders aware, and the clear difference between right and wrong just depicts the state of humanity right now. Cutting down on basic necessities and collectively and brutally punishing the whole city for the actions of the few is considered a war crime. Yet the world leaders are silent upon it and are rather supporting and also sending military aid. These are all open injustices being done to innocent people, and while many will still justify the actions under the pretext of self-defense, one thing they should know for sure is that Allah is forever watchful of their actions, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never forgets. Allah will again and again make the truth evident from the falsehood, no matter how hard the wrongdoers try to hide it.
وقل جاء الحق وزهق الباطل إن الباطل كان زهوقا.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make the Palestinians stay strong and not break in these turbulent times. Ameen.